There exists a version of you that you have not encountered yet, a version so controlled, so precise, and so relentlessly consistent that if you met him today, you would not recognize him. You would be unsettled by him. Most people misunderstand discipline. They believe it is about early mornings, clean diets, or long hours of work. That belief is shallow. True discipline is not a habit. It is an act of force directed inward. It is the deliberate destruction of weakness. Real discipline is the capacity to look directly at your emotions, your exhaustion, and your excuses, and silence them without negotiation. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this reality. He did not write for the virtuous or the gentle. He wrote for strategists. He understood that power in a chaotic world does not belong to the soft or the predictable. It belongs to those who become unyielding. When discipline becomes absolute, respect is no longer the dominant response. Unease is people sense the shift. They recognize someone who can no longer be manipulated, someone who has stopped bargaining with his own mind. That recognition creates fear, because a person who cannot be controlled internally cannot be controlled at all. You are here because you are exhausted in a way sleep does not fix. You are tired of your own inconsistency. You are tired of making promises to yourself that collapse before the day is half over. You watch others move forward while you remain trapped in cycles of motivation followed by failure. You want to know how to escape that loop. You want to build a mind that does not fracture under pressure. What follows is not comfort. It is elimination. The dependent, emotional, approval-seeking version of you must be dismantled so that something stronger can take its place. The philosophy applied here is ruthless because reality is ruthless. By the end, you will understand why the desire to be liked weakens you and why discipline that commands fear grants freedom. The secret is not in what you add to your life. It is in what you are willing to remove permanently. Most people live as servants. Servants to impulse. Servants to comfort. Servants to opinions that hold no value. The moment this path begins, servitude ends. Sovereignty begins. But sovereignty demands sacrifice. Are you prepared to pay for it? Silence is the first weapon. Machiavelli observed that most people reveal everything about themselves. They announce plans before effort. They seek validation before results. They exhaust their energy explaining who they intend to become instead of doing the work required to become it. This behavior guarantees failure because pressure is released before momentum exists. Silence operates differently. Silence preserves power. When you stop broadcasting intention, you stop leaking strength. The most dangerous individual in any room is the one who watches, listens, and reveals nothing. Silence creates uncertainty. People begin to project their own insecurities onto you. They wonder why you no longer need attention. Working unseen allows mistakes to happen without judgment. Growth occurs without interference. Imagine withdrawing for months without announcement. No declarations, no explanations, only execution, training the body, sharpening the mind, building something that compounds quietly. When you return, there is no need to explain change. Presence communicates it. Posture changes. Speech becomes minimal. Energy shifts. This absence of noise unsettles others because it reflects what they lacked the discipline to do. While they were performing for approval, you were building leverage. Stop explaining yourself. Explanation belongs to those seeking permission. Strength requires none. If you are tired, work. If you are injured, recover without complaint. If you are succeeding, remain silent and continue. Results speak with authority no voice can match. The next transformation involves emotion. There is a myth that disciplined people feel less. In reality, they feel everything: fatigue, doubt, desire to quit. The difference is that emotion no longer controls action. Machiavelli understood that power is not freedom from emotion, but dominance over it. Relying on motivation is failure waiting to happen. Motivation collapses under discomfort. Passion fades when conditions worsen. Discipline operates independently of feeling. Action occurs regardless of internal state. When you stop consulting emotion before acting, you become unpredictable. If adversity knows you only function when comfortable, it waits until you are not. But when discomfort increases your output, control disappears. Treat emotion like weather. Acknowledge it without obeying it. Storms do not cancel missions. They require adaptation, not surrender. Your mind is not designed for greatness. It is designed for survival. Comfort is its priority. Discipline overrides this mechanism. When hesitation appears, movement must occur before thought intervenes. Action precedes negotiation. Over time, the nervous system adapts. Execution becomes automatic. Identity changes. You stop trying to be disciplined and become disciplined. This is how psychological invulnerability forms. Isolation completes what silence begins. Machiavelli understood that power often requires distance. Dependence weakens authority. Look closely at the people surrounding you. Do they challenge growth or protect comfort? Most individuals fear solitude because silence exposes truth. Isolation is not loneliness. It is a laboratory. Within it, distractions disappear. Opinions lose influence. Self-deception becomes impossible. Growth accelerates because resistance is confronted directly. Those who rise provoke discomfort in others. Progress exposes stagnation. When you improve, others feel judged even when no judgment exists. They respond by attempting to pull you back to familiarity. They call ambition obsession. They label discipline arrogance. Accept this response. It is confirmation, not criticism. Withdrawal creates clarity. Vision sharpens. Identity solidifies. Solitude produces a presence that does not seek validation. People sense it immediately. Ironically, the one who needs nothing attracts everything. Unpredictability then becomes the shield. Those who rely on emotional reactions to exert control lose leverage when reactions disappear. Calm replaces volatility. Analysis replaces panic. Reconstruction replaces despair. Consistency terrifies manipulators. It cannot be rushed, distracted, or intimidated. It compounds silently, day after day, year after year. Inevitability replaces effort. Sympathy becomes unnecessary. Broadcasting struggle exposes vulnerability. Discipline conceals wounds without denial. This is not deception. It is command over narrative. Stand upright. Move with intent. Even when everything fractures internally, external order remains. Control begins with posture before outcome. Standards define destiny. Failure is rarely due to inability. It is caused by tolerance of mediocrity. Comfort erodes empires from within. History proves this repeatedly. Excess weakens discipline. Luxury dulls edge. Modern life is engineered for softness, constant stimulation, instant gratification, endless escape. Choosing discipline in this environment is rebellion. Raise the baseline. Excellence becomes expectation. Comfort becomes irrelevant. You do not justify standards. You live them. Time is guarded ruthlessly. Attention becomes scarce. Scarcity creates value. Discipline elevates position without announcement. Eventually, transformation demands loss. The former self resists eradication. It bargains. It tempts. It promises relief. It must be silenced permanently. This internal war cannot be postponed. Either the past self dies or the future self never exists. Growth requires burial. Misunderstanding follows. Relationships fracture. Familiarity dissolves. This is not tragedy. It is cost. On the other side exists something colder, sharper, and resilient. A self that operates on reason. A self that sees systems, not emotions. A self that governs itself completely. Power over others corrupts. Power over the self. When self-control becomes absolute, anxiety fades. Anxiety is preparation unmet. Discipline eliminates uncertainty. Identity stabilizes. Confidence emerges without arrogance. Freedom follows, but it is solitary. It is the freedom of the hunter, not the herd. Comfort offers warmth and confinement. Discipline offers exposure and autonomy. Only one path leads to sovereignty. Machiavelli wrote in exile, stripped of comfort, status, and security. In isolation, he produced clarity. Discipline becomes truth under pressure. Everything can be taken except endurance. Discipline remains when all else collapses. It is fortress and crown combined. The world grows louder, weaker, and more distracted. This environment rewards the disciplined disproportionately. While others decay, focus compounds. You will unsettle them, not intentionally, but inevitably. You become the reflection of what they avoided becoming. If you had to choose today between comfort and command, which path would you walk? If this message resonates, share your thoughts in the comments. If you want more explorations into power, psychology, and control, support the channel by liking this video and subscribing. The work continues.